Hey guys, what's going on? Back with another video. How's everybody doing? So it's week 14 of the season. There's 3 more after this. You believe this? Like flying by. Where did it all go? Alright, so week 14 of the NFL season. So as you know, every week of the football season, as I've done since the 2016 season, I go through all the games that are going on in the week, talk about them, give you a recap, tell you who I think's going to win, who's going to lose, you know, generally. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball, but I watch so much football, and so much sports, and so much of people talking about sports, that I tend to think I know what I'm doing with this stuff. I don't know. So anyways, so 2016 I started doing this. 2017 I forgot, and then somebody reminded me, and now I just do it. So every week of the season I go through all the games, and just we talk about them, recap, tell you who I think's gonna win, and we kind of go from there. So week 14, here we go. So first of all, I want to start off with the playoff picture, because that's really the most important thing. Not only at this point in the season, but especially this season, given where things are at. This is really not only uncharacteristic, but it's extremely rare what's going on this season in the NFL. It's very, very rare what's going on, because we got two. So the top seeds in both conferences, we got the Rams and the Saints in the NFC, Chiefs and Patriots AFC. Rams are 11-1, Saints are 10-2, Chiefs are 10-2, Patriots are 9-3. So then from there, you've got, like, it seems like every wild card team is basically within a game of another team. So in the AFC, you got the 3rd seed Texans are 9-3, the 5th seed Chargers are 9-3. Then somehow the 4th seed Steelers, which have a worse record than the Chargers by like a game and a half, or actually I think even 2 games, at 7-4-1, are somehow above the Chargers as the 4th seed, and then finally the Ravens are the 6th seed at 7-5. But, like, you know, Chargers and Texans same record, Steelers aren't far back, Patriots are just like half a game or a game behind the Chiefs. The Chiefs got a hard schedule coming up, so the Patriots could get the #1 spot. Rams and Saints are 1 game apart. In the NFC, both the Cowboys and the Seahawks are 7-5. The Bears are only 1 game better at 8-4. Vikings are 6-5. I mean, it's so tight. Like, if any of these teams, you know, wins or loses, like in 1 week, you could go from the 2nd seed to the 6th to out to in. It's crazy, but I kind of like it. At least it's you know, there's some parity, you know. So that's kind of where we're at. So first game this week. This game is just 2 teams that aren't even in the playoffs. Doesn't really matter. Jacksonville and Tennessee. I got Tennessee winning. Next game, again, same thing. Jets, Bills. Give me the Jets. Give me the Bills. They're a little bit less worse than the Jets, I guess you could say. Next game, also Sunday, early game. Again, 2 teams that aren't in the playoffs. Browns and Panthers. Browns have 4 wins. That's good for the Browns, you know. 1 tie even. So, I mean, it's better than 0-16 like last year. But at the same time, you know, the Panthers have really been in a free fall. They're 6-6. I mean, I don't see them having a losing record, but they're not going to do much better than that. You know, 4 games left here. I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess they're going to beat the Browns. I mean, it's still the Browns. I got the Panthers winning this game. Next game up, again, 2 teams not in the playoffs. Sorry, not Panthers. Falcons and Packers. So the Packers, they fire the head coach, Mike McCarthy. Long overdue, if you ask me. I mean, that team has been underperforming, like, you know, for what was their last good season? Like 2016. They were they? Like, I think they were in the NFC Championship game, or at least the divisional game that year. But I think they were in the NFC Championship game. Yeah, no, I think they were, because they played the Falcons in the NFC Championship game that year. That's right. Yeah, so again, like, the Packers have underachieved. Aaron Rodgers, I mean, I don't know if he's got nobody around him. I mean, so there's that. But, you know, again, Mike McCarthy, just poor management there. I don't think he's really given it his all this year. You know, that team just doesn't have what it takes. The Falcons, on the other hand, they come back, they win the Super Bowl against the Patriots, or I'm sorry, the Patriots come back and win the Super Bowl against them down 28-3. Everybody knows this stuff. It's history at this point, but, like, ever since then, this team has just been, they've had nothing. This team is, I think that Super Bowl was the last time you're going to be hearing from this team, because this team just hasn't had it. I mean, yeah, I don't even think you call it a Super Bowl hangover. That just killed this team. So, you know, this game, I mean, 4-7-1 versus 4-8. I don't know. Give me the Packers. They fired their head coach. Maybe they'll do something different here. It definitely worked with the Browns. All of a sudden, they started winning their games. Next game, Colts and Texans. So this game here, even though the Colts are 6-6 while the Texans are 9-3, this is actually a story of two very, very talented quarterbacks who are playing extremely well right now. Andrew Luck's playing out of his mind. Deshaun Watson looks like he did early last season, so like early 2017. Deshaun Watson, he's back to looking like that. They sucked. They're 0-3 at the beginning of the season. The Texans are. They come back. They've won 9 in a row. This team's a freight train. Are they the Chiefs? No, but it's a good story. I mean, both these quarterbacks are playing out of their mind. I think the Texans winning this game only because, like, Andrew Luck playing well can only take you so far with kind of the personnel that team has, offense, defense, you know. So I got the Texans winning this game. Next game, this is my. Hold on, let me see. What other games are there this week? So we got Baltimore and KC up next. That would be my game of the week. But let me see if there's any other better games in here. Eagles and Eagles. I don't know about that. You got the Rams and the Bears. Rams and the Bears. That's kind of a good one. I'm going with this game just because Baltimore's 7-5. Chiefs are 10-2. I mean, Kansas City's clearly better. But at the same time, Baltimore, you don't count that team out. That team, that's a tough team, man. Harbaugh, I don't want to say he's coaching for his job, but he kind of is. I mean, it's like you gotta do something this year if you're Baltimore. Joe Flacco, like, so they've got Lamar Jackson's been in there. Well, Joe Flacco's been hurt. You know, a lot of people want to say that they've been better. I mean, I tend to think Lamar Jackson's really just like a really good like high school quarterback. I mean, like, that's kind of, it's kind of unfair, but I mean, like he doesn't pass enough. It's too much running with him. It's too much with the legs, and I understand that that's really popular in the NFL right now. But it's like all this guy does. Like, he can't. Not that he can't, but like he doesn't do enough with his arm. Like, I need to see that you can play really well. Like really do that. Because you get in a big game against a good team, you're going to have to do that a lot. And we need to see that he can do that a lot. So Joe Flacco, I don't know what his status is. I don't know if he's playing this week. I mean, so then there's like, then there's the problem of like, even if he's healthy, then like, do you want to ride the hot hand with Flacco, or I'm sorry, with Jackson, or do you want to go back to Joe Flacco? It looks like Lamar Jackson's getting the nod for the foreseeable future. So that's something to watch. Who do I think is going to win this game? It's in Kansas City. I mean, if Baltimore's defense can really do something, then I got Baltimore winning. But I mean, I just think, like, realistically, Kansas City's going to win this game. But I think Kansas City's going to lose another game before the season's up. First, they're going to play the Chargers. I think that's their second to last game. And then they're playing the Ravens the last season. They're not winning both of those games. So I got them losing one of those. Next game, New England and Dolphins. Give me a break. I got New England winning this game. However, the late season, so if you're in the same division, you play everybody in your division twice. One time at your stadium, once at their stadium. And the Patriots are like, I think they're like 1-4 in the last 5 seasons in Miami. Like, not playing Miami, in Miami. Like, when they have to go to Miami. They just suck when they go to Miami. And so that's kind of something where, like, I think a lot of teams have that. Like, they'll go to certain stadiums where they, the team they're playing, they should be better, but they're not. I think it's a few things. 1, it's late in the season. 2, you think it's going to be easier than it is. 3, it's hot when you get there, and every place else in the league is cold, or if it's indoors, I guess it's room temperature in that case. But you go down there, it's hot, it's loud, it's late in the season, you're tired, you think that, the Miami's really never that great, so I guess if you're the Patriots, you think you're going to walk in there and win. And the Dolphins get up for it, and they play a good game. So I think that's kind of why they've lost. This year, I don't think the Patriots are going to make that mistake. Number 1, they're better than the Dolphins. But number 2, we talked about the playoff picture earlier. Every team is breathing down every other team's neck, at least the teams that are in the playoff picture. Like, you lose one game, and you'll go from the 2nd seed to, like, out. It's like that. I mean, that's kind of an exaggeration, but it's like that tight. Like, every team is like they either have the same record, and it's because of tiebreakers, that the draft order is determined the way that it is, or, you're like 1 game back, so you can't afford to be losing these kind of easy games. You just can't do it. So I got New England winning this game. Next game, Saints and Buccaneers. Give me the Saints. Giants and Redskins. Yeah, give me the Redskins. Next game, Bengals and Chargers. Give me the Chargers. These games are kind of gimmies, aren't they? 49ers and Broncos. Give me the Broncos. The Broncos are in the playoffs, are they? No, they're not. Yeah, they're the 9. Yeah, they're not getting it. 6-6. Then we got, after the Broncos game, we've got Detroit and Arizona. Give me Detroit, even though both of those teams really suck. Then we've got, this is kind of a game here. We got the Eagles and the Cowboys. So the Cowboys, like, the whole season, everybody's been talking about the Rams. Everybody's been talking about the Saints. Meanwhile, the freaking Cowboys have just kind of, they beat the Saints. Like, they've fought their way into the play. They snuck in. Like, they literally, like, stole their way into the playoff conversation as the 4th seed. They start off bad, just a bad team down in the bottom of the NFC. Nobody's talking about them. And they just, you know, nobody was looking, and they just kind of clawed their way back in. 4th seed now. So they've got the Eagles. I think they're going to beat the Eagles. The Eagles are they're just not very good at playing football right now. But then if you look at the remaining schedule, I think it's pretty easy. All right, so they got the Colts next week. So that's it's tough. It's a tougher game. I think the Buccaneers and the Giants, which are 2 teams that if they play the way they did against the Saints, when they're linebackers, like everybody, you know, like I mean, they just like I don't want to say it looked like Lawrence Taylor, but these guys coming off the line, or you know, Dak Prescott's rolling out and they're like after him. They're fast. They're physical. The line play really on both sides, offensive line, defensive line, linebackers just playing tremendous. If they play like that, they could probably win all their remaining games. And then that would make them, let's see, that would make them 11-5. And then, you know, you could be like the 3rd seed maybe at 11-5. It's possible. So you got to watch out for that team. Next game, we got Steelers and Raiders. Give me the Steelers. Steelers have been losing some... The Steelers, their problems with the talent. It's that mentally, like Mike Tomlin, just that whole thing, rah, like it's not... You know, between the ears, that's their problem. Like physically, personnel, they've got it. Making like the right decisions and just like that whole thing. It's like Andy Reid. It's worse. It's way worse than Andy Reid. Like you'll see these dumb play calls that the Steelers will do, or there'll be like a long timeout or a break. They'll come out of the break and like they should have been using that time to figure out what they're gonna do, and they don't. And that's the problem with them. That's why they haven't won. That's why they can never beat New England, who they're playing next week, which I can't wait for that game. That game is that's always... Like, how many more times is New England going to beat the Steelers? Like, how many more... Like, I don't think the Steelers have beat New England in, like, 10 years or something. Like, it's been forever. It's unbelievable. It's because it's 2 teams. One of them has a high football IQ and makes the right decisions, and the other team just chokes. So, there you go. Sunday Night Football, Rams and Bears. That's a good game. I get the Bears winning this game. Reason being is that Bears defense might be the only, except the Patriots defense has gotten good. The Chiefs have gotten a little bit better at defense. The Saints defense is good. Cowboys defense is looking pretty good. We'll have to see, you know, what if they can keep doing that. But like in terms of like consistently this season, good defense. The Chiefs are really like the only team that have been able to do that. The Rams, you know, the Rams last week, let's see, I know they won, but who did they beat again? So last week, yeah, they beat the Lions 30-16. They should be able to put up more points against the freaking Lions. The Lions suck. Then they had a bye week the week before. I don't know, this is kind of like those sleeper games that I feel like the Rams could lose. Yeah, but the Rams offense is just way better than the Bears. No, you know what? Screw it. Give me the Bears. Final game, Minnesota, Seattle, Monday night. So, Seahawks are 7-5. Vikings are 6-5-1. However, the Seattle Seahawks, look, you got Russell Wilson, you got Pete Carroll, and like, is it Chancellor? Is he still on that team? Or am I mistaken? Yeah, okay, so Cam Chancellor, Russell Wilson, and Pete Carroll. That's it. The rest of the team is gone in their scrubs. All right, how they're 7-5, I'll never know. But that's unbelievable. The Vikings, on the other hand, they just get pantsed in New England. That team, yeah, that's not the 2017 Vikings, that's for sure. I got the Seahawks win this game. It's in Seattle. It's a primetime game. Place will be loud. Place will be turned up, and there you go. All right, guys. Well, other than that, that's going to do for this week's picks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you agree, disagree with any of my picks, let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, until next time, that'll do for this one, guys. Thanks for watching.